NBA here on 2K Sports. Friday Hoops Fest coming up next. It's going to be the Cleveland Cavaliers up against the Miami Heat. And that's it for us in the studio. To call all the action, let's go out to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. I'll see you again at halftime.
Welcome and good evening. We welcome you to our Monday night broadcast of the NBA here on 2K Sports. Now a chance to check out tonight's starting lineups. First, for the Cavaliers, Kyrie Irving is out there with Dwayne Wade. And they've got LaMarcus Aldridge, the former number 2 pick out of Texas, standing tall in the middle at 6'11". Then it's LeBron James, and it's White in at the 4. And for Miami, Brandon Knight is out there, Gallinari. And it's Bynum in at the 4 slot.
The Heat have magnificent talent, but even coming off an NBA title, they had never put their name into the conversation of the great teams until last spring when they went on that amazing 27-game winning streak.
And for the Heat, they were staring right at the 72 Lakers win record, and I'm sure everyone remembers, but ultimately they would fall, Steve, to the Bulls after 27 consecutive wins.
Yeah, that streak to me was one of the great feats in NBA history. Winning 27 games in a row in the regular season, so difficult, but it showed you what the Heat were made of. They really were battling every night, and I thought that put them on a great run heading into the playoffs.
Now, here is Knight. Stevens, the pass to Gallinari. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Bynum kicks to Knight. Dishes it to Gallinari. And the pass to Stevens. Back to Gallinari. There's the triple. The shot misses.
Well, you know, it was a career year in terms of scoring for Danilo Gallinari last season. Not so much because he was more efficient with his shots, but he was just more aggressive in my mind. He looked for his shots more.
And about a minute gone here in the first quarter. Gallinari gets the screen from Knight. And it's Gallinari again missing. And for Gallinari, nice to see his three-point shooting bounce back last season. It became a nice part of his arsenal.
You know, it's strange. I mean, when he first came into the league, he looked like he was going to be one of the best shooters in the NBA, but his percentage dropped, I think, 4 straight seasons. But last year, finally back up in that 37-38% range. So you add that to his slashing, and he's become much tougher to defend.
Good point. Now, here is Knight after LeBron James's miss. Shot clock at 5. Passes to Stevens. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
You always like to get that first lead of the game.
Yeah, you know, Steve, a good way to set the tone early on there.
Well, I've got to mention his skill as an outlet passer, guys. I mean, it may seem like a small thing, but there's a ton of value in it because if you get the rebound and your eyes are up the floor and you're able to make that pass, it really sets you up offensively for transition points.
Steve, you're exactly right, and it can't be overlooked. He starts a lot of fast breaks. Well, one of the struggles for a young team is figuring out how to win on the road. And winning on the road is not just execution, it's preparation and mindset. And young teams struggle to put that together, and the Cavs were certainly a team that struggled with that.
He's so reliable. You know, his offense seems to be consistently there for this team.
Cavaliers making a switch here. For the Cavaliers, being young was a big problem, and not having much luck with injuries was another. But, Steve, it can be tough to score points when you're on the road, and they struggle with that in a big way.
Well, they would end up in the bottom 5 in scoring last year while on the road, and that did them no favors. And defense, I mean, that was another issue. They couldn't stop anybody. So you combine bad offense, bad defense, going on the road, you're in some trouble.
Here's Bremer. Makes it off the glass.
You know, it's a plus to get good looks in the paint, and when you can get them, you got to score them.
Here comes Kyrie Irving. And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first. The feed to Lamb. Launches a three. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist. Lamb's got himself on the board with 3 there.
I like the offensive awareness to exploit that lack of coverage on that play.
And here is Knight. There's the three. The Cavaliers pull it in. And Lamb kicks to Smith. Pass to LeBron. Irving up top. And they will get the basket here, folks, as they rule goaltending.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
And that call gets an instant reaction from the fans.
Well, that's a whistle that did not go over very well.
Here's Bremer. The shot is off. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Cavaliers on top, up by 3. Back after this from the American Airlines Arena. Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. What stands out to you from the Cavaliers in this one?
And the defense has been key in building this lead. They've really clamped down hard.
They've done a nice job, Steve. I think challenging every shot, a hand up on every shot.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris.
Guys, last year, Dwayne Wade set a career high for field goal percentage at over 52%. D-Wade said, quote, "Back when I had the team, I was the top player. I had to shoot shots I wasn't comfortable with. I made some, I missed a lot. I have a different role on this team. I don't have the ball all the time, so I need to take shots that come and understand which shots are my shots." Kevin, you gotta love the dedication to efficiency for the team's sake.
That's why he's a champion, Doris. Thanks.
Well, when you have the best record in the league, you're going to be the most dominant, one of the most dominant teams at home. The Heat just destroyed people down in Miami, and only the Denver Nuggets had more wins at home than the Heat did.
The Heat trail by 3. Ireland, defended by Fredette. Pass to Gilbert. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Bremer. Josh Smith pulls it in. And how crazy is that from the Heat to win as many games as they did last season, but still be second in the league in home wins? Still, we're far and away number 1 at home in the East.
Well, yeah, the Knicks were the closest team in the East, but they still had 6 fewer wins at home than Miami. But the Heat really just did what they had to do to put themselves in position to go on to their second NBA title in a row.
Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
Good ball movement here by the Heat. He kicks it to Rivers. The pass to Gilbert. Feeds it to Rivers. Shot from the top of the key. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. Rivers has got the first basket of the second quarter for the Heat. Timeout is called. First of the game for the Cavaliers.
Give it up for your Heat Dancers.
And the Cavaliers with some changes. Aldridge comes in for Chandler. And Royce White subbed in for LeBron. 1:11 left to play here in the half. Kicks it to Aldridge. To the middle. White. And the layup's good off the glass. The Heat trail by 3. It's a pick by Bynum. Passes it to Stevens. There's the dish to Bynum. Launches it. Offensive rebound. Can't get it to go. The Cavaliers leading by 3. Wade outside. He feeds it to Aldridge. 11 feet away. Can't get it to go. And Miami the other way now. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. There's the pick. Wade brings the double team. He dishes it to Rivers. Pass to Stevens from downtown. Good. He has 6. 8 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Fredette kicks to Aldridge. 1 second left. Buries the jump shot. And we're through 2 here in a good one. Cavaliers lead by 2. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play.
Now, presented by Sprint.
This is 2K Sports. Who doesn't like a little basketball late at night? The Cavaliers putting up one heck of a fight. The offense has been firing on all cylinders. This team is cooking. LeBron is their leading scorer. And of course, Jeremy Lamb has also been making his presence felt here. Also, Miami looking good in the first half. And give them credit defensively. They're boxing out, controlling their defensive backboards. And that's going to do it. We'll send you back now to the game in Miami. Third quarter, up next.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters.
You know, the Cavs have been very mindful of remaining flexible in terms of the salary cap. And when you do this, you set yourself up to perhaps make a big splash in free agency at some point, and you know what's coming. They might have a chance to re-sign LeBron in 2014 with how their books look.
Miami trailing. Knight with it. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Out of bounds. Cleveland will take possession. And here's Wade.
Get on D-Wade.
Irving dishes to LeBron. T-Wade on the wing. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist. Wade's got the first points of the second half here for the Cavs. And that had been the rumor for a while. The Cavaliers looking to maybe mend some bridges and bring LeBron back into the mix when he hits free agency next year. Their books are certainly in order for it, Steve, and it might happen.
Hey, you never know. I mean, nobody expected LeBron to leave in the first place, so why not give yourself an opportunity? You are in his backyard in terms of LeBron's hometown, so I like what the Cavs have done. They've added young talent, but they've maintained flexibility just in case.
The Heat have made their only other free throw attempt today in an earlier trip to the line. That free throw missing. Good on the second free throw.
A lot of people picked the Heat to run away with the East last year, and they were right on target. They were just so far and away better than any other team in the East that you just didn't see them losing much during the course of the season.
Offensive rebound. From deep. That's good. Wade's got 6 points in the quarter.
He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but the defense still needs to keep an eye on him.
Bynum with a screen on LeBron. This is to Gallinari. Now the feed to Bynum. Shot clock at 6. He passes to Stevens. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Mark, as you said, the Heat clinched the East pretty early and were able to rest up a lot of their players down the stretch. Steve, never easy to win when everyone expects you to win games, but the Heat didn't seem fazed by the pressure at all.
Well, this is a championship team, and I think once you win that first title, you get a different level of confidence, and that showed last season as Miami rolled to their second title in a row.
Here is Knight, following the basket by LaMarcus Aldridge. Knight passes to Gallinari. Bynum, White covering from deep. Gallinari. The shot will not go, and Cleveland will come the other way. LeBron kicks to Irving. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
A lot of players in this league are so clever with the ball. They can make defenders look foolish. That's what Kyrie Irving does. I mean, he's just a magician with the ball.
And going back to Kyrie Irving, ambidextrous, they say, with the ball in his hands.
He really is. He can go both ways, and he plays with such great pace and energy offensively. Keeps the ball tight on the string, a true point guard, and I think his assist numbers will only climb as the offensive players around him continue to get better.
Steve was saying he was amphibious. I didn't understand that at all, Steve. Josh Smith, he's checked in for Cleveland. And so Irving nails both of them.
You watch Irving over the course of his first 2 seasons, guys, and he's so in control of himself late in games and really positions himself to assert his will and impact the outcome. That's why he's so good in the clutch.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game. When you talk about the late game clutch play for Kyrie Irving, his rookie season statistically, he was the best in the league at scoring in the clutch.
That's an amazing stat, Kevin. I mean, that says it all. He's a tremendous shooter. Got size and ball handling skills to get him anywhere on the court. And I think in the next few years, Kyrie Irving will be considered the best point guard in the NBA.
And you can see he's a cornerstone of a rising Cleveland team, too.
He sure is.
Seconds left in the third quarter. Irving against Knight. Now the pass to Stevens. He kicks it to Bynum. 5 to shoot. Good ball movement here by the Heat. Here's Cox. Again, the miss by the Heat.
With the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be. Firmly in control of this game.
Yeah, they have not let their guard down one bit in the paint.
Now here's LeBron. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Wade kicks to LeBron. Knocked away. Pass to Cox to stop the run. The shot, no good. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Cavaliers on top. They lead by 11. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are. The fourth quarter is coming up next. Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Cavaliers.
These long-range shots look like layups out there, guys.
Something that also stands out tonight is the number of assists they have. I mean, that's a mark of a good club.
And so it's Cleveland with it. They lead by 11, the largest margin of the game. Now LeBron. Pass to Chandler. Feeds it to Lamb. The good-looking shot from the wing. Lamb's got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for the Cavs. Heat shooting a rough 22% so far in this one. Pass to Cox. Kicks to Gallinari. Now the dish to Knight. Fires from deep. Gets the bucket.
In the first half, they didn't shoot nearly as many threes. But finding themselves down now, they've started to cast up a lot more triples.
Now here's Lamb. Right side Irving. Gives him the lead pass. Gallinari with the steal. There's the pass to Cox. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
Gotta like the way he took it strong there, attacking the rack.
And the defense fouling him there to prevent the dunk.
And he makes the first. And the Cavaliers with some changes. Marcus Aldridge is checked in for Chandler. And Dwayne Wade is subbed in for Jeremy Lamb. He's perfect from the line this time. Guys, a good chance for them to slow it down.
Yeah, I agree. Got to use some clock here.
On the wing, Irving. He's guarded by Knight. Irving dishes to Aldridge. Back to Irving. He feeds it to LeBron. He passes to Aldridge. Just 5 on the clock. Can't hit the free throw line jump.
The defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
Knight with it. Now guarded by White. No good from Cox. The Cavaliers leading by 8. A minute 20 left here in the fourth quarter. Wade passes to LeBron. And Aldridge gets it to go on the assist by LeBron. And that's now 6 points for LaMarcus Aldridge. And the Heat call time here. They're trailing by 10. 1:11 left in the fourth quarter. Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Yes, during that break, Coach Byron Scott had some words for his team. He challenged this group to really go for it, saying, now's the time when winners take control. Now let's go out there and take it to them. Guys, a nice pep talk. We'll see if he got them going.
The Heat making a switch here. Gallinari's checked in. .11 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Here's Bremer. They get it again. Bynum. Here's Knight. And finally they hit one.
giving them an opportunity at second chance points with some hard work on the glass there.
And the Cavaliers call time here. They're ahead by 8. There's a minute left in the fourth quarter. And the Cavaliers making a change here. Smith has checked in. Here's Aldridge. On to Wayne Irving. And stolen by Knight. There's 47 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Passes it to Stevens. The lead to just 5.
Most any NBA player can make you pay when you leave them that wide open. That's why you have to stay alert on defense.
There's 37 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And that's an intentional foul. They can more or less wrap it up right here.
Yeah, as long as they concentrate, get a good look at the basket, make this a smart possession, they should be in good shape. They have no choice but to lunge for that pass to stop it from getting through.
Well, that was a good job. It could have been a quick bucket if he doesn't knock it out of bounds there.
Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. And slammed in by Smith.
An example right there, guys, of how even as their lead grew into a big one, they never started coasting.
That's the truth. I mean, they've been in charge of this game all the way through.
Probably time to just say it, guys. This game is over.
I think you're right on target there.
And his mechanics are just all out of whack now. He just has no feel for his shot.
Well, his numbers certainly back that fact up. I mean, he has gone ice cold here.
Now here's Wade. So we see the Cavaliers get the win here. Both teams played well, but these guys had the edge.
Yeah, I think so. They were just state night sharp. Very on top of their game here.
Well said. Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark, Stephen Doris, and the rest of the crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Last but not least, here is your Jordan player of the game, Wayne Wade.
Monday Hoops. Coming up, it's going to be the Memphis Grizzlies up against the Sacramento Kings. And that's it for us in the studio. To call all the action, let's go out to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. I'll see you again at halftime.
It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Glad you're here with us tonight for this Monday night presentation. We've got a chance now for our starting lineups from point guard to center. This game should be a good one. First for the Grizzlies, we've got West, a very solid big man who'll be making every effort to control the glass and make some big plays under the rim. And it's Blackman in at the 4. And for Sacramento, and the big fella inside out of the University of Kentucky, the unbelievably gifted and powerful pivot man, DeMarcus Cousins. Then there's Batum, and it's Young in at the 4 slot.
Well, the business of the NBA in pretty good stead. The Kings sold back in May for a record price of $525 million, and the Seattle group had offered even more. Team value is certainly on the rise around the league. Better arenas, more lucrative TV contracts. Part of the reason that's the case.
And it's going to be the Grizzlies off the tip. Smith with it. Let's go. Rebound by the Kings. And back to the bidding war for the Kings with the great offer from the Seattle group. Steve, do you think there's a chance the league could expand to Seattle?
I think so, especially with that tremendous offer that the Seattle group put forward. And now the new CBA, it's made it much more favorable for the owners. I think in the next few years, we will see at least one expansion team, maybe 2.
And so it's the Kings getting on the board first. Blackman, and there's the whistle, fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's on Thaddeus Young.
Well, for the Grizzlies, the 5th best record in the league last season, guys. Defeated the Clippers and the Thunder in the playoffs, but it all came to a crashing end when the Spurs swept them in the conference finals.
That's good from Blackman. Well, and back in that series that Clark was talking about against the Spurs, more competitive than it might seem. Steve, you and I were talking about this. 3 of the 4 games were close. In fact, 2 obviously really close, going to overtime.
But I thought the weakness of Memphis was really exposed, Kevin, and that was the outside shooting. San Antonio just guarded the paint. They took Zach Randolph pretty much out of the series, and they begged Memphis to shoot from long range. And when you don't have floor spacing in the playoffs, it makes it awfully tough to score. Well, he earned that one. Took the hit and still found a way to knock it down.
Yeah, fantastic body control. And the will to get it done. You like that focus.
That free throw good from Singleton.
Well, throughout the league and its history, defenses always travel well. And to be good and consistently good in the NBA, you've got to bring that defensive mindset and execution. Offense comes and goes. Defense stays.
Now, here is Smith. Here's Columbus. Off target from three-point range. Quick start for the Kings in this one. Let's now go to Doris Burke over across the way, who spoke with Lionel Hollins, and Doris, take it away.
He told me he's wary about how they'll contend with DeMarcus Cousins inside. He said he's a beast in there, no doubt about it. Size, length, strength, and a ton of skill. The talent is really off the charts with him. And guys, he knows it won't be easy to muscle Cousins away from the rim, but he said that's what they've got to find a way to do. It won't be easy.
All right, Doris, thanks. Now Smith. Nicholas Batum missing from long range. But like you said, defense a part of the game that never has an off night. And it's why the Grizzlies, Steve, were so tough on the road and really such a tough team in general.
Well, 24-17 on the road is an amazing record for any club. And I think Memphis, they did it with their defense and their rebounding. They were able to enforce their identity on teams on the road with that toughness, with that edge, and it really paid off big time.
The free throw drops for Smith.
A lot was made about the Kings in their home last year, but it wasn't about how well are they playing at home. It was about where is their home going to be next season. The Kings are staying in Sacramento, but they played like it might be their last hurrah.
Smith hits them both. And you go back to the Kings at home last year, 20-21 record, and it was easy to see just how much tougher a team they were in this building. You know, Steve, they really looked like a team that could compete with anyone at any time.
Well, this community really rallied behind the franchise, and there was a lot of worry that maybe this was the farewell tour for the Kings fans and the players. And they played their hearts out last year. You got to give them a lot of credit for really fighting, particularly down the stretch when things looked great.
And it's the Grizzlies with the ball, following the three-pointer by Nicholas Batum. 4 on the clock. Great open look there.
This is great. Three-pointers going down quickly at both ends.
Yeah, it took them no time to answer back on that possession.
Now, here is Singleton, covered by Smith. Now, here is Singleton. And there's the feed to Matthews. And another three for Sacramento.
D there, guys, was pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can't leave a good shooter like that open.
Dishes it to West. He passes to Shepard. Memphis moving it around. Rejected by Singleton. The shot's good from Blackman. Kings leading now by 4. And here is Singleton. Outside Matthews. The 3-ball. The shot misses. Here's Blackman. The shot is off. And so the first quarter is in the books. Kings ahead, up 4. And the second quarter will get underway just after this short break. And we welcome you back to more NBA action. Players looking hydrated and plenty to help them get their job done tonight. And a moment now to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Kings.
Now, they didn't waste any time getting into a groove out there. They're dialed in from long range.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
And it's the Kings with the ball. 4-point game. Patterson setting the pick for Thomas. Patterson, the screen. He kicks to Walker. Unloads. No good on the shot. A bit long that time.
Boy, for my taste, he's far too inconsistent with that shot. I mean, he's got to make those if he's going to take his game to the next level. Strange to see that a team that appeared to be in such strong position changed up so much last year. And the Grizzlies did that. They traded away Rudy Gay, and they also changed their offensive scheme to more of a pick-and-roll approach.
Now Walker, after the missed 3 from Bayless. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. There were a lot of questions asked after the Rudy Gay trade last season. Fans wondered if the team was looking to blow it up, even though they were fighting for the 3rd seed at the time. But, Steve, they really rallied.
They did. I thought they showed that they were an excellent team. And, you know, one of the reasons they made that trade was they had a lot of success a couple of years back in the playoffs without Rudy Gay. So they knew that they could play well without him. So they went ahead and pulled the trigger. And it looks like the deal has worked out okay.
The Kings making a switch here. Matthews is checked in. So he gets them both.
There's no question the big news for the Sacramento Kings is they're still the Sacramento Kings. After a nail-biting last couple of years, they saw the team flirt with moving to Virginia, Anaheim, Las Vegas, Seattle. Finally, a new ownership group committed to keeping the team in Sac.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to Doris Burke for an update. Hi, Doris.
Guys, for DeMarcus Cousins, who's so talented, controlling his temper has been an issue. He said, quote, "I get it from my mother. It's a problem I have. It helped me get where I am. But at the same time, I have to learn to be quiet and just try to have a positive mind. I'm trying to lead, just in a better way that will be accepted more. Guys, we'll see if he can turn it around."
That'll be the question. Thanks, Doris. And so here's Memphis. After the miss from Walker, here's Bayless. And that one hits back iron. And for all the Kings fans, what a great victory. Former three-time NBA All-Star and Sacramento native son, Mayor Kevin Johnson, instrumental in securing financing for the new arena, and Steve campaigning with the league's owners to keep the team in Northern California.
I think it surprised everyone, Kevin. Seattle made such a strong bid. I think most people felt the team would end up in Seattle, but Johnson did his job. Sacramento stepped up to the plate. And I think it's great that the Kings get to keep their team, and hopefully Seattle will end up with one in the next couple of years.
Now Thomas, after the missed three from Bayless. Outside Thomas, Matthews. And once again off the mark by Sacramento. The drive by James, stolen by Thomas. There's 37 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Here's Patterson. Shot is no good. Great D that time from Blackman. The Grizzlies trail by 4. Here is Bayless. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Pass to Blackman. Harris is there. Just 5 to shoot. Shot from 12. There's a whistle, and it goes on Isaiah Thomas. That's his first foul.
And, you know, these calls can be some of the toughest in the game for the officials.
It all happened so fast, but I really think that was the right call. The defender was not really set in that situation.
Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. The drive by Smith with 1 on the clock. Stolen by Thomas. Close game as we wrap up the second quarter. Kings lead by 4. And join us right back here after the break for the start of the second half.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Monday has almost come to an end. Let's celebrate with a little halftime show. The Kings playing well up to the break. And nice teamwork offensively. Moving the ball around, what a great way to play. Wesley Matthews has been getting it done through 2 quarters. His shooting percentage hovering right around 50%. It's awfully good, heads and tails. There's no quitting the Grizzlies. They came to win. And give them credit defensively. They're boxing out, controlling their defensive backboards. And we'll be heading back to the court for the rest of our coverage as we go to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke for the second half.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far.
Well, in many ways, the Grizzlies aren't like most teams out west. They don't try to overpower you with offense, and they don't have a superstar to lean on for big baskets at the end, but they still know how to get wins in the tough Western Conference.
Kings leading now by 4. Now Singleton. Back to Batum. He dishes it to Singleton. And Matthews kicks to Cousins. Batum. He feeds it to Singleton. Knocks down the 3 ball. Singleton's got the first bucket of the third here for the Kings. and win they did last year. Memphis would go 56-26 overall, and Steve with 34 of those wins courtesy of other teams in the Western Conference.
Well, they didn't seem to play like a lot of the other teams in the West, but it didn't matter. I mean, defense, toughness, rebounding, they were who they were. They established their identity, and that's one of the reasons they became such a tough team in that conference.
And here's Batum after the three-pointer from Shepard. And the jam by Nicholas Batum.
You know, the defense that time was just content to stay out of the way. I mean, no resistance at all. They let him do exactly what he wanted to right there.
Steve, no one looked too anxious to take him on.
No, you know, guys, I think that speaks to his strength and his agility. I mean, he's not a guy you want to stand in the way of as a defender.
Here's Shepard. That three off the mark. Kings leading now by 6. Batum passes to Matthews. Back to Batum. 1:32 left in the third quarter. Kicks it to Singleton. And a miss there on the triple. Memphis has gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break.
Sacramento really had a lot of problems finding consistency game to game, and it showed up when they would have to take on other teams in the West. Just didn't look quite as cohesive and as desperate to win as the rest of the conference, and that ends up costing you games.
Sacramento's gone 4 of 8 tonight from three-point land, shooting 50% on the three ball here. 55 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Well, Clark, as you said, the Kings struggled against the West, really against Western teams not in their division. They would play the division tough, but didn't do much against, Steve, the other 2 Western divisions.
Well, they only won 14 games against the rest of the conference, which was the fewest of any team in the West last year. But of those 14 wins, 7 came against the Pacific. So that's kind of interesting when you look at the disparity between their wins.
Here's Singleton after Memphis gets the 3. Outside, Batum. The 3. Rebound by Smith. The Grizzlies trail by 3. Smith right side. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
Defender a little hesitant to offer resistance as he bursts to the hoop.
This is his 3rd free throw attempt of the game. And the free throw, no good. Singleton with it. No good. And we just finished the third quarter, and we've got a tight ball game here. The Kings on top, up by 1. Live from Sacramento, you're watching 2K Sports. Thanks for joining us again as we get set for the fourth quarter. A terrific game so far. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for the Kings.
How about the three-point shooting we're seeing so far, guys? Amazing.
Something that also stands out tonight is the number of assists they have. I mean, that's a mark of a good club.
Memphis trailing here. Now here's Wright. To take the lead. There's the bucket. Good. Wright's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for the Grizzlies. And here is Thomas.
Get there, get there.
The pass to Singleton. Back to Thomas. Kings moving the ball around. A shot by Batum, no good.
This game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding is one thing that they've been able to dominate.
Yeah, they chased down that pumpkin often.
And the Grizzlies making a change here. Smith outside. Passes it to Shepard. Pulls up. And it's rebounded by DeMarcus Cousins. Cousins has got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Matthews into the lane. The shot is off. West with some nice D. Memphis leading. Smith outside. Pass to Black. And the shot is good.
After what was just a horrendous shooting performance in the first half, they finally started to find their stroke.
It's amazing to think they actually have the lead here, Clark, given how poorly they played in the first half. They really didn't shoot well, but you know what? They're starting to stick it out. They're finding their way in this game.
Here's Singleton after the made shot from Blackman. Clock at 6. Singleton kicks to Matthews. Takes a 3. And it's Matthews again missing.
Well, he hasn't had much success shooting the ball, but it's not too late for him to get it turned around and start contributing.
Pass to Smith. Shepard defended by Batum. Smith dishes to West. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
Well, in terms of his value to the team, you have to factor in his sheer competitiveness. The way he just competes every possession like the game depends on it.
And that's contagious, Steve, and I know his teammates love playing with him because of that competitive spirit.
He drops the first one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. Both free throws here. So now it's a 5-point game.
2-possession game now, guys. Some very important free throws there.
Feeds it to Batum. It's stolen by Smith. Here's Shepard. And he lays that one in.
And every point they get now puts them one step closer to the W.
If they're not there already, Steve, just a tremendous all-around game of basketball they play.
Now here's Batum. Money! And now they trail by just 4.
Boy, I tell you what, he loves getting looks like that from the three-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him.
And stolen by Cousins.
Time running low here. They need a hoop.
Yeah, score quickly and then foul him right away.
And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot.
Obvious foul.
Yeah, he took a hit right there and earned those free throws.
That is done. 2 shots.
He hits the first one, and that narrows the lead down to just 3. And the second free throw, no good. A tough break there.
By missing one of those, that leaves them needing a 3 to tie it up. Not the ideal situation.
Yeah, no question the right call at this point. You can't let them just dribble it out.
That's right. I mean, you've got to send them to the line and hope for a few misses.
Good on the first, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. Second one is good. We both at the line, and it's a 5-point game. Now a timeout called by Sacramento. They're down by 5. We've got 22 seconds left in the fourth quarter. What do you think, guys?
And obviously time is the big factor here because they need to get points fast and then go for the steal, and if not, a quick foul.
Hard as it is, you just have to hope the guy you send to the line doesn't convert.
Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. Back to Batum. Now the dish to Singleton. From outside, off the mark. Leaps for it. And here's Smith. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
Smith. 2 shots.
He doesn't hit the first, and that was the one they really wanted. He's got one more, though. That's off as well, so he misses both. Here's Matthews. It's off. So it's Memphis picking up the win. They pulled off this win, Clark, with respectable performances on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I think it was just really a nice overall effort, Kevin.
And that'll do it for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan saying so long and thanks for joining us as we leave you with the Jordan's Player of the Game.
Sports, you're watching the NBA. Friday Hoops Fest coming up next. It's the Boston Celtics going up against the New Orleans Pelicans. And now let's go to Kevin Harlan, Clark Kellogg, and Steve Kerr out at the New Orleans Arena as tip-off approaches.
Welcome, folks. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for the latest presentation of our NBA basketball. Along with Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. And now a quick check of our starting lineups for both teams. First, for the Celtics, speedy backcourt of Rondo and Bradley. And inside, standing above at 7'3", the Nigerian giant, Ike Okoye. Then there's Chandler Parsons, and it's Sellinger in at the power forward position. And for the Pelicans, and playing at the center position, one of the Lopez twins out of Stanford, 7-foot banger, Robin Lopez. Then there's Al Farouk Aminu, and it's Miller in at the 4 slot.
If you're in the Western Conference and don't want to finish near the bottom, you've got to be able to rack up some wins against the East. And New Orleans, with a young team that's trying to find itself, just didn't have a good record against the Eastern Conference.
Well, Clark, you spoke about the Pelicans' record against the East last season. They were just 12-18, and that was the second worst mark for anyone out west.
Well, you could see they were timid at times. They were unsure of themselves. They just didn't have enough talent, enough belief in themselves, and it showed. Anytime they went on the road, west or east, it felt like they were in some trouble.
A nice shot by Okoye. And it's the Pelicans' ball. Love kicks to Gordon. Back to Love. Outside Gordon. Pass to Love. Just 5 on the clock. Left side, Love. And off there. He misses his first shot of the night.
You know, Jared Sullinger was one of the top prospects in the 2012 draft, but concerns about his back dropped him to the 21st pick by Boston. And, you know, those concerns were well-founded. He ended up going under the knife in February after a back issue in Boston. He did play well, though, prior to that injury.
And they will call over the back on the play.
Well, that's an aggressive play, trying to get that rebound, maybe a little too aggressive.
And it was totally unnecessary, Steve. He was in no position to get to that ball. He should have just conceded.
Rondo with it. Well, back to Sullinger. He'd been playing pretty much all season in pain, showing a lot of grit and toughness, I thought, Clark, as the season wore on.
Yeah, Kevin, and the good news as his back recovers is that his game was never really based on his leaping ability. His game is low to the ground, based on savvy and skill. He's strong, powerful, and again, very skilled. So the recovery prognosis is good. And I think he's looking forward to a long and productive career. He's a really good basketball player.
Yeah, he brings so many things to the table defensively. Always seems to have an answer for whatever is being thrown his way. And if you're the offensive player, you do not want him guarding you because he will get right into you and make things difficult.
And something else he does that might not wind up in the stat sheet but is still a big part of his game, his leadership defensively. Collectively, they're a much better team when he's on the floor.
He hits the second from the line.
Well, you know, last season, I think officially brought the immediate championship aspirations of the Celtics to a close. The 7th seed in the East, dispatched in the first round by the Knicks. The rebuild was on in full cycle.
Now here's Love. On the wing, Eric Gordon, guarded by Bradley. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. And back to the Celtics, making the playoffs, sure, but, you know, not like Steve back in 08 or 2010.
Well, this has been a phenomenal era, you know, with KG and Pierce that is now a thing of the past. But look, they've hoisted a championship banner, very close to another, but it's just time to move on. And that's just the way it is in the NBA. These things go in waves, and the Celtics now in rebuilding mode.
That free throw good from Gordon.
Pelicans ended up being the name that New Orleans chose when it was all over. And I like the new look uniforms, but they had some other options as well that sounded pretty good to me. How about the brass? Because it gives nod to the music that New Orleans has popularized.
And both free throws good for Gordon. Well, definitely a nice sounding name. Other options were the Swamp Dogs, the Bull Sharks, the Mosquitoes. You know, Steve, all in all, you have to think they went the right way with the Pelicans.
I don't know. My personal favorite was the Rougarou. I don't even know what that means, but that was in the mix. Would have puzzled a lot of other people around the country besides me, but better than Mosquitoes, that's for sure. Pelicans was probably the right way to go.
Here is Love. After Jared Sullinger's bucket, Love the pass to Gordon. That doesn't go either for Gordon. 2 for 1 opportunity here if they want it.
That's what I'd do. Make sure you get a couple of shots here to close this quarter.
Parsons dishes to Okoye. It's blocked by Lopez. We've got 28 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Love kicks to Lopez. Back to Love. Makes the lead pass. And Lopez throws it down. Stupendous rush to the rim and a mighty slam on the end of it.
But through the teeth of some pretty soft D, I can't help but say that.
Well, let's see how that impacts things here, because those kinds of plays sometimes can be game changers on both sides.
Lets it go. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. Celtics lead by 1. From the New Orleans Arena, back in a moment. Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And the Celtics, guys, what jumps out to you, stats-wise?
The defense was really impressive there, guys, in that first quarter. They came out focused right from the beginning.
And, Steve, that's a big part of why they're on top right now.
The Pelicans trail. Vasquez kicks to Howe. Dishes it to Vasquez. And he's good on the three ball. Vasquez has got the first basket of the second quarter for the Pelicans.
You talk about some of the breakout players of last season, and at the top of the list for me was Rivas Vasquez. Runner-up for most improved player, 6'6" point guard, improved his shooting significantly and played with a lot of confidence for New Orleans.
Another shot. There is Zhao. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two. And Vasquez, originally from Venezuela, Clark, and Steve, you mentioned his pass last season. Third guys in the league in assists.
Yeah, and at 6'6", Kevin, a very good rebounder for a guard. He's not super quick, and that hurts him defensively, but he has excellent anticipation. And you can always cross-match him with some of the shorter two guards, so he's a valuable player in the backcourt. Not many teams, guys, in the East did very well against the West last season, and that in mind, you could call Boston's 14-16 record against the conference better than most.
And the Celtics making a change here. Rondo's checked in. And he's good on the second. And for the Celtics against the West, even in the shortened season, they were having a lot of trouble with some of the bigger lineups, Steve, more of the up-tempo teams out west.
Well, the Celtics were old and a little bit small, too. Kevin Garnett played center last year, so they played a lot of small lineups. And when you're small and you're old, sometimes, that's going to cost you, particularly on the road.
And a nice soft touch on the boards.
And when you have that gentle a touch, those chip-ins are easy to come by.
Well, easy points, free points for a guy with that kind of strength and agility in the paint. You got to go for every second chance opportunity.
And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Gentlemen, for Jared Sullinger, drafted to the Celtics last season, it was a great opportunity to learn from one of the best big men ever to play the game in Kevin Garnett. Sullinger said, "You're learning every day, and as you're seeing what he's saying, the game slows down tremendously." Fortunately, Jared not the type to take criticism personally, saying, quote, "Because I had Zach Sullinger as a coach," he says, referring to his father James, who taught him the game. And guys, Garnett praised Sullinger's incredible IQ for the game and no-nonsense demeanor. He's fit right in with the Celtics.
Nice stuff, Doris. Thank you. Chandler Parsons, he's checked in for Jordan Crawford. Easily hits them both.
The big story in New Orleans, guys, is the change of the name. From the Hornets, a name that came with the team when they relocated from Charlotte, to the brand new Pelicans. Now, Pelicans might not be the most intimidating name around the league, but it does have a nice and special connection to the city and state.
Now here's Stuckey. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. And the basket good.
Beautiful finger roll to cap that drive off. He knows how to finish with some flair and flavor, guys.
Vasquez with it. He's guarded by Stuckey. Now here's Vasquez. The pass to Howell. Shot clock at 6. Takes the three. Vasquez can't get it to go. Well, Clark, and I really didn't know you knew this much about birds, but the brown pelican is indeed the state bird of Louisiana. Their numbers have rebounded dramatically after being hard hit by the Gulf spill. So a representation of the city's triumph, Steve, over great adversity.
Well, I'm happy it was something that is connected to the city. I'm talking about the name, the Pelicans, because remember, originally this team was known as the Jazz, and that made sense. Utah Jazz made no sense. New Orleans Hornets made no sense. New Orleans Pelicans make sense, guys.
And the Pelicans with possession here. Following the miss by Rodney Stuckey. Howell passes to Hardy. Goes up on the wing. No good on the shot. A bit long that time.
Great defense there. You really have to challenge him at that range.
Here's Rondo. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Outstanding job there to absorb the contact and guide it in.
That's how you impose your will against the defender. He came to play.
And he's got his first chance at the line here. And it's tied up with that one. It's a tie game in New Orleans. And coming up now, it's the Sprint Halftime Show with Damon Bruce. We'll return with the start of the third quarter in just a while.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Live from 2K Sports, it's the Monday night edition of the Halftime Report. Plenty of hustle from the Pelicans. Excellent bench production. The second string coming in, knocking down the shots. Looking at Boston, they're definitely making plays as well. They've been working the ball inside, getting in close, easy points around the rim. Icon Okoye playing well in the first half. They aren't exactly eye-catching numbers, but don't be fooled. These came to play, and he's leading them towards a victory in this one. And that'll be all for now. Thanks so much for joining us. The third quarter just about to get underway.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. Here is Love. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one.
You knew that at some point the window for the group of Celtics that had won a title was going to close. I mean, it was inevitable. But last year it seemed like they were going to go for one last hurrah as they added some depth and looked to reload for another run. You know, it wouldn't be a bad idea to put an extra body on him, get some help when he barrels his way in close. He's such a good finisher. He needs more than one guy to defend him.
Now here's Bradley. The drive by Rondo. Four on the shot clock. Poked away and stolen by Love. Miller outside. Back to Love. There's the feed to Gordon. And he drew the blocking foul. He'll go to the line for 2. It goes on Chandler Parsons. And getting back to the Celtics and Rondo's injury, a lot of people expected them to start the rebuilding process. Ended up standing pat at the deadline, Steve. Even though there was, it seemed, a lot of interest.
You know, you want to give that group, KG and Pierce and Rondo, you want to give them another run. And they had their last hurrah. They didn't get it finished. And now you start the rebuilding project. So a lot of trades, a lot of movement over the summer. But I like the fact that they gave that club one more run.
Gordon hits both of them.
Well, this season, a new mascot, new team colors, and a brand new state-of-the-art 50,000 square foot practice facility for the Pelicans. It's not just a new paint job, folks. This is a franchise doing some exciting stuff.
Now here's Rondo. Bradley kicks to Rondo. Feeds it to Okoye. Puts it up from 12. And no good. Trying to use the glass. Pelicans leading by 4. Clark, you mentioned the new colors for the Pelicans. No longer the purple, teal, and gold of the Hornets, but blue, gold, and red from the city flag of New Orleans. It looks pretty good.
It does look good. And remember the other connections. I mean, blue is featured on the Louisiana State flag. Gold, Mardi Gras color, of course. You know, and then you think about the connection to the plumage of the brown pelican, which I've studied for years. And then, of course, red. I mean, the red represents I have no idea what represents Kevin.
Anderson Varejão's checked in for Boston. Stuckey comes in for Rajon Rondo. And first time out of the game called for New Orleans.
You know, it's always strange to see how a team will react when they lose one of their biggest stars. Last season, the Celtics were thought to be dead in the water when Rondo tore his ACL, but they actually rallied and went on a winning streak after the injury.
Left in the third quarter. Near the three-point line, it's Gordon, and he connects with the jumper. Gordon's got 4 points in the quarter. Well, Clark, as you said, with Rondo and the Celtics, they would go on to win the next 7 right after his injury, and overall, Steve played better than expected the rest of the way.
Sometimes that's the way these things go, Kevin. A star player goes down, everybody else kind of steps up, and instead of feeling sorry for themselves, they use it as a rallying cry. And all those role players for Boston really picked up the extra slack, and I thought they made a great push to end that season after the Rondo injury. You know, we saw the promise last season, Jared Sullinger, a wide body with a really high basketball IQ, just very skilled as a passer and a low-post scorer.
The first free throw is good. And for Jared Sullinger, he may have slipped in the draft, but a great situation, Clark, a lot of people feel for him in Boston.
Could not agree more. I tell you, playing alongside Kevin Garnett, played for Doc Rivers in his first year. I mean, you're going to learn a lot from those two about how to play in the NBA. I think he's ahead of his years as far as his basketball acumen. He's what we call an old head. Really has a nice understanding of the game. You know, when you're an older team and you try to milk every possession, you've got to be more efficient. And you know, over the past few years, the Celtics have failed to grab offensive rebounds, and that problem was not corrected during their disappointing 12-13 season.
Chandler Parsons, he's checked in for Jared Sullinger. Seconds left to play in the third. And it's Gordon penetrating. And that basket's going to count, folks. Gets the goaltending call right there.
That's kind of his strong suit, the ability to find his way through the defense and finish at the rim.
The Pelicans have been excellent at the free throw line here today, a flawless 6 for 6.
About a year ago, they converted about 78% of their free throws as a team, so pretty solid there.
You know, Kevin, they would love to post a similar percentage again this season. I mean, I think that's safe to say they'd love to shoot free throws as well as they did a year ago.
Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. And here's Rondo. He feeds it to Okoye. There's the bucket. Good. Okoye's got 5 now.
Good job there, recognizing the mismatch and then just going straight up with the shot. He's got a major height advantage.
Love outside. 2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Rondo with the steal. Here's Okoye. No good on the buzzer beater. And we've watched 3 so far in this one. Pelicans on top, leading by 6. From the New Orleans Arena, back in a moment. right, the fourth quarter of action getting underway. We've had a great one so far with both sides coming to play. And a chance for just a second now to check out the scoring breakdown for the Pelicans.
Guys, they've done a nice job of drawing countless fouls in this game, and as a result, they've gotten a ton of points at the line.
The other thing that's been huge for them is their points in the paint. They're getting the ball inside and converting on a regular basis.
Celtics trail by 6. Rondo with it. Bradley drives in. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Nice work to get inside and draw the foul.
Yeah, it's obvious. The defense not going to allow many easy layups. They're going to make you earn it from the line.
And he makes the first. Good on both. Now Love. Kicks to Gordon. Back to Love. Outside Gordon. On the wing, Miller. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
You know, even from here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
Yep, pretty obvious. And a good call by the officials.
You got this, no problem.
That free throw good from Miller. Both free throws good for Miller. Here's Rondo. Parsons outside. He passes it to Okoye. 6 to shoot. The shot will not go. So the Pelicans will take it the other way. And Aminu kicks to Gordon. Pass to Aminu. Defended by Parsons. Kicks it out to Love. Love right side. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. It's going to be on Avery Bradley. So the first one drops, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And so he drops them both. It's an 8-point game. Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over. They trail by 8. 1:46 left in the fourth quarter. Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Well, Kevin, I was able to listen in on what Vinny Del Negro was going over with his team. He was riding them pretty hard for the number of silly fouls they've committed in this game. He said, listen, we need to have some defensive discipline. Stop fighting on the shot fakes, stop reaching in, and stop giving them free points at the free throw line. We'll see if they'll respond, guys.
.146 left here in the fourth quarter. Rondo kicks to Parsons. Back to Rondo. He kicks it to Sullinger. Just 5 to shoot. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Yeah, the referee's all over that one.
No doubt about it. Clearly a foul. Nothing to argue about there.
That's the first, and that narrows the gap to 7.
The story in the first half was their low free throw percentage. They've corrected that here in the second half, and hopefully they can build on it as this game continues to progress.
The free throw's good from Sullinger.
Nice work there. And this is a point in the game where if you've got a chance to close the gap, you've got to do it.
Timeout called here. The Pelicans decide to talk it over. They're ahead by 6. There's 1:26 left in the fourth. A little over a minute and a half of the fourth quarter gone now. Love against Rondo. Love dishes to Gordon. The rebound by the Celtics.
It's going to take something special, maybe a miracle for them to come back right now.
How about a little luck?
Rejected by Aminu. Gives him the lead pass. Here's Love. Great D that time from Parsons.
You see the defenders get out of his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the bucket, but not that time.
He dishes it to Okoye. They double him with Love. Bradley passes to Okoye. Good D by Lopez.
And this is why you need size inside, the ability to contest shots and force misses.
Steve, that's exactly right. Even when you get in close, it's still a tough shot.
He drops the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's an 8-point game. There's 31 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Rondo kicks to Bradley. Left side, Bradley. From the arc. Boston again missing. Clark, the possibility here of pushing their lead to double digits.
And psychologically, I think that would give them an even bigger edge, Kevin.
Love outside. So we see the Pelicans get the win here. They pulled off this win, Clark, with respectable performances on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I think it was just really a nice overall effort, Kevin.
Now for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Holland thanking you for joining us tonight in our presentation of NBA on 2K Sports. Now our Jordan Player of the Game.